In this video, we're going to Sinaia to see Peleș Castle, the most stunning castle in Romania.
We are so excited to go and to take you with us.
For the last month, we have been living in Brașov, the heart of Transylvania in Romania, and we've spent almost the entire summer in Eastern Europe. But we still haven't seen a castle.
It's time we saw a castle. And what better castle than Peles Castle in Sinaia, Romania?
While we're in Sinaia, we'll also look around the royal town and ride up the cable car.
Oh, we've heard such good things, and we can't wait, so let's go! It's windy. I'm Noelle.
And I'm Jonathan.
We're on a mission to live in 100 countries.
We're not just traveling, we're travel living, combining travel and living to create a more fulfilling life.
On our channel, we're sharing new things that we learn as we experience different cultures and meet amazing people.
From off-the-beaten-path destinations to practical tips for living a healthy life.
We hope to inspire you to pursue your own adventures.
So join us as we make the world our home, one destination at a time.
Subscribe for free! First, we have to get to Sinaia. That's where Peles Castle is at.
Our Airbnb where we're staying is in Brașov, Romania.
That's 1 hour away from Sinaia by car, but we are going to take the train, which will take an hour and a half.
Spending the summer here in Brașov has been like living in a storybook.
Right? It's such a cute place. Let's go see a castle. It's the morning. We made a whole video walking around the old town center of Brașov, so if you're interested, check that out.
It's one of the best videos we've ever made.
Oh look! Pigeons are still sleeping.
Romania has a super amazing public transportation system of trains and buses. It makes it so convenient to get around.
Especially for us, since we don't like driving.
Online, people recommend that you go early in the morning to avoid the crowds. But before we go to see the castle, we want to go up the mountain on a cable car. That mountain, right there.
Wow, that's beautiful. I can't believe it.
So hopefully everything works out for the schedule. We'll have to see. The cable car in Sinaia will take us up 2,050 meters, and then we'll hike the rest of the way to the top.
Acum am stat și m-am gândit și m-am socotit, vroiam să ajung acasă pe ăla, dar era prea târziu.
The train station in Sinaia is notably more beautiful than the other stations.
No wonder. This town is where the king lived. We met a local who was eager to give us directions.
Well, we got some bad directions and ended up here at the Sinaia Monastery.
While we're waiting for the next bus, let's go inside.
It sounds like something is about to start. Wow, that was amazing.
What did we just see?
I'm not sure. Out of reverence and respect, we just filmed a few seconds, so I hope that was okay.
It was just too incredible not to.
I'm going to have to read more about that to understand what that was. I feel very lucky to have been there.
What a detour. There's our bus. Oh, wait. The bus is more crowded than in Brașov, but at least there was plenty of space for us.
I just hope no one else needs to get on.
The cable car starts up here by the ski lodge. There are 2 sections of cable. The first one takes you up halfway, and then the second one goes the rest of the way to the high altitude skiing. This is the highest altitude that any cable car in Romania reaches, 2,050 meters. Jonathan, where are we?
We're in the cable car. We're going to climb up 2,000.
Next, please.
We're not in it. No.
That's 6,725 feet elevation, well over a mile high.
The car itself can dangle 120 meters off the ground at some parts.
Or 400 feet.
And it can transport more than 1,000 people per hour.
That's what it says online, but that doesn't sound right. That would be more than 16 people per minute.
The price is 119 lei per person for the whole trip, both up and down.
That's $25 US per person.
Going only one way is a little cheaper, and so is going only halfway. The prices are clearly listed on the sign.
We made it to the halfway point. Look at these mountain dogs. They look tough.
You mean they look rough?
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Steep.
Whoa.
It's very tall.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
now he's nice.
Now it's nice.
A few locals told us they like riding up this cable car so much that they make this a yearly tradition. I think it's really awesome.
We could come back next year.
Sure, why not? So I asked a local about the church service, and they said it was a special funeral ceremony held 6 weeks after the death of a loved one. It was very fascinating, and I wish I could see it again.
In Romania, most people are Christian, with the largest denomination being Romanian Orthodox, which is what we saw in the monastery.
I've had the privilege of going to many church services of different Christian denominations in America, but what we saw down there was nothing like anything I'd seen before.
Eating.
Wow, look at them. Look at all the different colorings, of course. Listen to them. Oh, wow.
They pass in them.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
The chef recommended that we eat this. The name he told me, and I had to write it down, was mamaliga, which I think refers to the polenta-like stuff that is underneath.
You can't really see it because it is completely covered in this stew.
It looks like it has pork sausages and pork tenderloin, as well as whole peppercorns and mushrooms, onions, bay leaf, and is topped with a fried egg and soft white cow cheese.
We also got a soup and some bread.
It's a very hearty dish.
And very delicious. I like how the rolls are in like 5 sections. So 2,050 meters was not enough for us, I guess. We needed to hike to the summit.
That's right. Who else dares to hike the rest of the way and reach the tippity top? Oh my, look at all these sheep. How did they get up here?
Do you think they rode the cable car up here?
There's no fence around them. They're just here on top of the mountain. And these sheepdogs keep them together and keep them moving, I guess. You know, I sometimes dreamed of being a shepherd boy,
You'd be good at that.
just out here on the mountainside with my sheep and the sheepdog. And maybe a couple goats thrown in there.
Oh yeah, you love goats.
I do? So, is Peleș Castle a castle or a palace?
I don't know the definitions exactly, but I expect it has towers and stones on the outside, but inside it's velvet curtains and cozy fireplaces and at least one fancy bathtub.
I'm ready to feel fancy and underdressed at the same time.
Same. This place was in a Hallmark Christmas movie, so...
On Netflix?
A Christmas Prince, the one where the ambitious journalist unexpectedly falls in love, having to decide between career and her growing feelings for the prince.
You just described every Hallmark movie ever made. Why are people so obsessed with castles? Like, what's the deal?
It's about the movies. Castles are about princesses.
You think that's it? That every girl wants to be a princess?
Not every girl, but a lot. Yeah. Well, castles have great stories, like forbidden romances and love between, like, the prince and a common girl.
And don't forget Dracula. That made Dracula's castle famous.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be happy if there's just a random suit of armor somewhere.
It's windy.
The view from the top doesn't disappoint. It's such a clear day and the air is so fresh.
It's a bit more scary going down the mountain.
Time to go down.
Whoa, I can't see. Whoa, whoa. What a takeoff.
This I don't like.
Who knew there was a larger cable car that takes you right into the city, and you can use the same ticket. It's a bit older and scarier, but the same price.
So far it's okay.
Where's the other one?
What makes it scary to me is that it's supported by only 2 towers, and so the cable bends way down in the middle under the weight.
I was not expecting that. Holy cow! Made my stomach drop.
Prepare for other.
Oh no, I'm not prepared.
You can actually see the Peleș Castle from the cable car, but it's just too tiny to see on camera.
The Peleș Castle, that's where we're going next.
You know, when I told my mom that we were in Romania, she said to me, "You have to go see a castle." And I admit that she was right. If there is one castle to see, I'd say this one right here.
The first thing you see is this.
It's already looking like a castle. Wow.
By the way, this isn't Dracula's castle or Braun's castle. This is Peleș Castle, and it was highly recommended to us as the best castle.
Nobody told us that the outside was under construction, but it still looks great, and it's just the outside.
There was a little bit of a line to buy our tickets and another line to enter the castle. The full price ticket is 150 lei per person. That's $32 per person. If you just want to see the first floor of the castle, you can pay less. There is also a second castle next door called the Peleș Castle, which has its own entrance fee.
Peles Castle gets between 250,000 and 500,000 visitors a year. The sign at the door reads, "Dear visitors, please ring the bell and wait to be invited inside."
Cool.
Everything inside is curious. It's intriguing. It's like everything has a story. Each item, although it all seems to come from far away, they are all placed in a designated spot, and somehow it looks like everything belongs right where it is.
There must be hundreds of items, thousands of items, from all over Romania and Europe, pieces that each have their own meaning and a story told over hundreds of years.
There is a quiet elegance about the place, a sense of sophistication in the way every detail has been looked over and designed intentionally and cohesively.
How do you mix the world together in such a way? It's amazing how they did it. We don't usually like museums, but this is a castle, a royal palace.
And you're the princess.
No, I'm the queen, and you're the king.
How about I'm the shepherd boy? There's a fireplace.
Look at this dining room. I don't think I've ever seen a table so big. There's a bathtub.
There's a lot of wood used in the construction. I think I expected more stone.
The floors are making lots of creaking sounds under our feet. First floor. Let's go.
Suits of armor, coats of arms, every little detail is made of the finest workmanship of the time. Like this wallpaper, made entirely of animal skin leather. Being here, it's so juxtaposed to the way we live.
We don't carry with us souvenirs or things. Everything we own travels with us.
Yeah, we carry it around.
We don't have a small apartment where we collect stamps and things.
Let alone a castle with a collection of weapons. I know people who collect things, but when they die, what happens to their stuff? Will their house become a museum, or will it all be thrown away?
For sure thrown away.
Will the only person who saw any value in it be them? It makes me question just how important this stuff is. I mean, how do we differentiate what is truly important and those things that I merely think are important?
I know they say we can't take anything with us when we die.
But to think that soon after you die, your stuff is probably going into the nearest garbage can is kind of a reality check.
There is even a little gift shop inside.
Peleș Castle is actually a lot bigger inside than I thought. If there wasn't just one path laid out to follow, I would have gotten lost for sure.
There are various rooms that are all decorated uniquely according to different cultures. The king wanted everyone to feel at home. This room feels like you're inside a ship. Just next door, a short walk away, is a second castle, Peleș Castle.
It's a 2-for-1 experience. 2 castles in one place. This one has a lot more art inside, but it also seems more modern and more practical, like you could actually live here without getting lost. The most memorable thing we saw is the gold room. Everything is so gold.
And this dining room table is even cooler. Why does every place have 5 glasses each?
What did you think, Noelle?
Very beautiful. This is a smaller castle, and it's not as fancy, but still very fancy. It's more plain compared to the other one, but I really, really liked it. It was more my style.
Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
And check out our other videos in Romania or around the world.
The Peles Castle was so much bigger than I thought. It was so giant and ornate. Everything, every detail was in place. There were so many different rooms. Like, I got lost, but practically got lost. I had no idea where I was. It was just so big. I didn't even let you go in the rooms. You just go by the rooms. You can see inside. And so they have a course where you go through. It's really nice. You don't get lost, but I totally would have gotten lost. It was just huge. And every room was just like jaw-droppingly beautiful in different ways. You know, everything was different, but also very beautiful. Very, very distinct. It was really cool.